February 4th, 2004, Mark Zuckerberg launches Facebook, finally giving people an outlet to post pictures of their cats, their babies, and their drunken debaucheries. This is the Full Blast Podcast.
Stan, Grandma said she poked you and you haven't sent a poke back.
Dad, I didn't even want to do...
Stan, poke your grandma!
I'm doing good, Taylor. Happy February, everybody. We made it.
Man, I am ready for winter to be done.
We're almost out, man. We're getting there.
I was just thinking about that today, like driving around.
Sorry.
Sounded oddly
Fucking
sexual.
love that song.
No, I was just thinking that today. Like, God, I just can't wait for it to be over.
We're getting those heavy dumps right now. Everybody's getting hit with it this year. El Nino is...
We all got the heavy dumps.
Everybody's getting hit with the heavy dumps.
The heavy dumps, man. Oh, I got the heavy dumps yesterday, boy. Oh, all night, baby.
No, it's true though. This time of year, it's
Had to shovel my way out of that heavy dump. I'll tell you that.
It seems to snow more, but it's good for, like, we went skiing the other day. Our buddies are out in BC skiing, like, snowboarding. You gotta
Props
go.
to the boys in BC.
You gotta go.
Living the dream. I haven't been. Well, I've been to Banff and Jasper, but I was a kid and it was the summer. But I've never gone skiing out there. And that's something I would really love to do.
Me too.
It's a lot of money, though.
I've been to Whistler, but I couldn't ski. It was during the Olympics in 2010.
Oh, fuck. You went to the Olympics.
I did.
I can't
On
believe
home
it.
soil.
On the motherland.
Oh, it was so good. It was such a surreal experience. But my point is, like, just standing in Whistler and just, like, looking up, and all you see is, like, just beautiful chalets and, like, huge ski hills. It's like nothing you've ever seen before out in the Rocky Mountains.
It's that picturesque Canadian dream. People have been going to Banff since the 1880s.
My parents went to Banff on their honeymoon, and I was always like, you guys are fucking losers. And then I went out there. Like, we went out there when we were young with my family, and it was amazing. Like, it looks...
It is, yeah.
There's such great, like, places to, like, just go for, like, hikes and stuff like that.
We did the, what's it called? Hot Springs when we were there. And that's pretty mint, too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We also did the hot springs and the glacier.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we did the glacier.
The thing that it's amazing. I was like 9, and the thing that I took away the most from that glacier was, like, where they have those spikes driven down, like where the glacier ends every year, and, like, how it's, like, gone up the mountain ever since. Like,
and they just know.
What do you mean?
Well, they just know. Like, that's... I don't want to say it's geological. Is it geological?
Well, they're just marking the point where it recedes to, right?
Yeah, what do you mean?
It's just a marking
but you
from
can
the
see
previous...
the layers of ice from the different periods.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're thinking
And
of...
that's what I'm thinking of for my...
You're thinking of something different, like a cross-section of snow.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
Talking
But they
like
have
ice
it.
core.
They have it.
Oh,
no,
okay.
they have it at the mountain where, like, you're walking up the mountain, and there'll be this spike driven in the ground that says, like, 2002, and it's like that's where the glacier was at 2002, the edge of the glacier, and then you walk up more, and it'll be like 2003.
It's going up?
Yes, receding up the
There's
mountain.
just less glacier every year.
Oh, I see.
It's melting.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm like, how the fuck is that happening? How's it going up? We're in a goddamn climate change issue right
it
now.
goes
And we're
up.
getting more glacier?
It goes up the mountain.
What? I get it now, yeah.
And they have these posts where it, like, predicts where it's gonna be.
Oh. Based on scientific calculations, I'm guessing?
Not so scientific almost, but, like,
Just
like the
trends.
rate of how it's melting. But they also have the posts where it actually is too, so it's like sometimes they find that it's melting faster now. That's almost how they found out.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's crazy. Like when you think of it, how quickly things like that are melting. I just read today, China has started bottling more water from the glaciers that are melting in China. That's where they're getting their water from. You gotta fucking, get water to a billion people, and it's all polluted, so it's all bottled water over there.
Yeah.
Now they're starting to make their own. Those glaciers, we need them. That's a lot of fresh water stuck in those things, and if they start melting, we that's future water.
Mm-hmm.
Banff, 1885 it opened. You think of how many people have gone to Banff in 130 years, something like that. What is it, 2016?
That's what year it is. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's 131 years.
131 years. That's a lot of people who have seen those goddamn glaciers. You think about it?
Ever look at an old picture of like Lake Mary Louise and what it looks like now?
Yeah. In the 19th... When did it even open? Are you talking about the hotel or the actual lake?
There's a hotel there, but like
that
hotel
picture is so ballin'.
That's I think that's where my parents stayed.
That's I don't even. What is it? Lake what?
Mary Louise.
No, just Lake Louise.
Is it Lake Louise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lake Mary Louise is.
Let's see where that hotel.
Here.
That hotel is gorgeous. Like, goddamn, that is. Oh my god, like that is so freakish.
The pictures are amazing from there.
You get that reflection off the lake every single time. I don't think you can take a bad picture.
You can't.
Like, it's impossible. The lighting is so fucking perfect.
But there's a picture where the two mountains meet the lake back there, and older pictures show way more snow.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's like a time lapse.
Let's check it in the 19th century, see what happens. God damn, where is it? These are all new.
I don't know if you'd be able
When did
to
it
find
open?
that. It doesn't matter when it opened.
Well,
it's been there.
Figure out
The Rocky Mountains never
1890s.
opened. They were there forever.
1890. Let's see. Let's see if there's any pictures. Nothing that really show. Oh well. Nah.
Yeah, you wouldn't really be able to tell. They had like a split screen, I think.
But goddamn, that's gorgeous. Like, you cannot rebuild that. That is forever stuck in a period, and it just... If something were to happen to that building, you'd never be able to rebuild it. There's something gorgeous about like old buildings. Something that...
It's true.
It's
They
like
don't.
this-
You can't put the kind of effort into like building a.
No, exactly. Like Sagrada Familia. We've all been.
Yeah.
We all went
Gorgeous.
together. Grade 12, me, Taylor, and our good friend Alex here, sorry. We went to Europe. And we went to Sagrada Familia in Barcelona.
Yes.
And it's the craziest...
It's amazing.
It's the craziest thing ever.
It's huge. Actually,
huge.
my aunt went there recently and like took some pictures.
And how has it changed? Or since you remember it?
It looks pretty crazy, but there's not much change, like with the size of it.
The size of it's enormous. It's unfathomable.
But you remember how he was saying it's supposed to be bigger than it is? Like they wanted those people to buy out of their houses and stuff.
Well, that's the thing. They have to finish the actual dream job. They have to tear down like 5 blocks around it. Mm-hmm. But that's never going to happen. But maybe it will. You never know.
It's estimated to be completed in 2026 to 2028 now. And construction started in 1882.
1882 and it's still not done. Oh my god. It looks like Mordor almost, you know? It looks like you're going to like Mount Doom to go fight Skeletor. I don't know. It's fucking scary.
It's wild.
It is wild. And you'll never be like, no one's building anything like that
No.
anymore. Like, you'll never see a new building that's going to stand the test of time like these old ones do.
No.
The cool thing about that too is there's so many like different periods of design on it because it's been built for so many years, right?
Well, it
And
started with the
different
Gothic.
architects.
There's that Gothic look at the bottom, and then you really have the Gaudiism at the top.
Yeah.
And that's when he took it over. It's interesting. Barcelona's a sick town. If you're looking for a place to go to Europe, go to Barcelona.
I believe it's classified as a city.
Oh, yeah.
The town of Barcelona.
The town. I guess it's not a town.
Barcelona?
The principality. I guess you could call it a principality because they're all Catalonian and they want to be fucked off from the rest of Spain. That's still they're like Spain's Quebec, you know.
They are.
They just don't want anything to do with the rest of the country, but it's a sick town for sure. It really speaks to how culturally different every city you go to is, eh?
It's true.
There's something different about every single city. And I'm talking about the metropoles, you know. Toronto, New York, Los Angeles, Paris, Barcelona. Every city has its own flavor.
You know which ones interest me in Canada are like Montreal and Old Quebec.
Yeah.
And Vancouver.
I've never been to Vancouver.
If you've ever been like the old downtown Vancouver, it's like crazy. It's a port city, right, on the west coast. Like,
Yeah.
Old Quebec is pretty sick. I remember going there. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting how it's just built onto the side of the mountain.
yeah.
And, you know, it's just cliffs.
Do you remember when we went as a class
Yes.
and we climbed all
was
the way
very
up
cool.
those stairs? Oh, that was wild.
It's definitely like a place where you can go very far back in Canadian history, right?
That
Like,
is
It's
it.
over.
When you think about it.
It's
That
over
is the
400
starting
years
point.
old.
I know. It is one of the oldest cities
in North
America.
Yeah.
If not the oldest.
No, it's not the oldest.
What is the oldest?
I would want to
Boston?
say New York or Boston. Yeah.
New York. Are you talking New York or are you talking about New Amsterdam? Because that's the defining feature.
Yes, but that's that area.
What is the oldest city in?
I like how when you Google things, it's like you're.
Well, I'm because I'm retarded. I don't know.
What is?
Jamestown, Virginia, which is technically still a city. Oh, some of these are like Guatemala and shit, so
Yeah,
that
but-
doesn't count.
Yeah.
Well, historian, you got a project for
Well,
next
that's fucking
week.
horseshit.
I don't know. I got St. John's, Newfoundland in 1583.
I
Well,
can see that.
would be like
That would
a
make
discovering point, right?
Well, it would have been an established fishery. And,
Did Vikings
it
not
says that
land
that's-
there like
well,
first?
Vikings did.
It says that that's the oldest English-founded city in North America. So discovered by the English.
Yeah. Well, they've said that they found Viking stuff in Minnesota.
Wow.
People have found a Viking sword. I think it was a Viking sword.
That's pretty far inland.
Exactly. The Ullen's sword. Is that it? Yeah, I guess this is it. This has to be it. I'll give you a picture.
Must it
here.
come through the Great Lakes?
Well, that's what they think.
Yeah, but it looks like that was originally thought to be a Viking sword, but has since been disproved.
Has it?
That's what it said on your previous
Son of a
article
bitch,
there.
eh? Oh, fake. Yeah, so you always gotta look this shit up. Well, apparently also there was one that was found in Northern Ontario as well. But that could be fake as well. So nobody really knows. But, I mean, the Viking... What's stopping the Vikings from getting that far into Canada? Or into the United States?
I don't know that they had the means to. Weren't their boats like so large?
I don't know, to be honest. I've never looked up I'm not a big Viking guy myself. It's just not my bag, baby. I don't know. I don't have that, you know. I'm not a Viking. I'm not Norwegian. Or
Well,
anything.
regardless, they were
I am
the
not
first.
Gaelic.
They were the first settlers
Yeah.
in North America from elsewhere.
Unless you take the argument that the Chinese or Aboriginals who are in North America who walked over the Bering Point, that's the other argument. That's how First Nations got here.
Yes. That wasn't what we were talking about.
But then there's also arguments that China actually hit the Pacific before England did.
Did they not end up in, like, India, though?
No, because they were going the other way.
They also traveled to India, though.
But that's what Columbus was looking for, India.
He missed.
Oh, fuck yeah, he fucking missed, all right, I'll tell you that.
There was something in the way called North America.
You think about how long it would actually take you to get around. Like, they were looking for a quicker point. That's why they went that way. Because originally you had to go all the way underneath the African Horn to get to India. That's fucking far. That is such a detour. You have to go down the whole world, come back up to go to India. There's no other way. And that's why they're like, well, let's...
Unless you go through...
Well...
but with their ships back in the day.
See, I don't think
they were ocean traveling.
And that's why, like, the Panama Canal is so impressive. Because it's the exact same thing.
Yes.
Before
Otherwise,
the Panama
you have to
Canal,
go...
you had to go all the way underneath it.
That's right.
They cut it at the... Oh, like beauty. And technically, the United States owns the Panama Canal Zone. The fucking... That money.
Yeah.
Freight money in there. To have access to that, oh, they needed that shit. That's why Teddy went up in there, man. Teddy Roosevelt. Not fucking around. Teddy Roosevelt was... He's a badass.
He's a good one.
He's a good one, yeah. He's like the United States' Vladimir Putin.
Okay.
Just an army dude, like, manly as fuck. Loves boxing. Loves fighting. He's a badass motherfucker. He was a Rough Rider, man. Fucking went into war. He don't give a shit. Fought the Mexicans. I'm pretty sure he got, like, malaria. I don't know. Maybe he did. Teddy Roosevelt. Malaria. Did that motherfucker get it? Yeah. He did. Look at that shit, eh? Goddamn. Theodore Roosevelt came down with malaria after a visit to the Amazon rainforest. Although the bout did not kill him, he returned to the U.S. weakened physically and spent many years in his bed. Fuck, malaria.
So was that pre or post presidential?
I don't know, to be honest. That it does not say. But he survived malaria. Like, that's pretty gangster for being like...
It's true.
For being the 1900s, right at the turn of the century.
I'm sure there were other survivors.
How about that new fucking Zika?
The Zika virus?
The Zika virus. That, I heard today you can get it sexually transmitted. So, if you've been...
first case of that in Texas,
if you've been bitten the penis by a little prick of a mosquito...
That's not how
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Transmitted.
I don't fucking claim to be... I don't work for the World.
The Canadian Blood Services put a 21-day donation ban on travelers that go to risk areas, basically. So if you're a blood donor, and you travel to one of those areas, they don't want your blood, no matter what.
Well, that's who will you? I don't want your fucking blood. If you're going to goddamn Amazon. Do what the fuck's down there?
Right, but if
goddamn the craziest shit, things we haven't seen.
It's not even the Amazon. It's like Dominican Republic.
Oh, really? So I can't give my blood?
And now...
are we going to get it? Like, seriously?
You don't know...
No.
You didn't know that it was in those areas?
No, I did. But I thought it would be cool anyway. Like, Dominican? I thought it would be a safe zone.
Why would you think that?
I don't know. Because who's flying into the Dominican other than Canadians? That's the way I see it.
It's not Canadians spreading it. It's mosquitoes.
Well, I understand it's mosquitoes. There's not a bunch of Canadians going around fucking biting people. We're a friendly people. We don't do that.
Well, but that's what you were suggesting.
No, I'm just saying, for travel purposes, when you think of people leaving or entering and leaving a country, there's not many people from other Latin American countries going into the Dominican. That's what I'm saying. It's mostly Canadians. Mm-hmm. So the risk of contraction should be lower because it shouldn't be spreading to that country as quickly. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to like Brazil or Venezuela, and Venezuela gets like people from Panama, Guatemala walking through Colombia, you have a greater chance of spread. But because Dominican Republic is an island, I would just figure that the risk of spread is less. That's all I'm saying. I'm not a epidemiologist by any means. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I don't work for the World Health Organization.
Once a podcast, you have to.
Well, it's a disclaimer. I am an idiot. I'm not trained in this.
I'm
shit.
not a doctor by any means.
Yeah, I just play.
I'm no economist by any means.
No, well, no.
I'm not a historian by any means.
There's my one thing I can. If I can talk shit about anything, it's history, and that's it. I don't claim
certain
to know
aspects
anything
of
about technology, building iPads, or fucking saving people's lives. Like I don't know, man.
What do you mean? Building iPads.
So unfortunately, with this Zika virus, they're working on a vaccine, but
they pushed it ahead
because it is affecting like pregnant women and their children. Yeah. Like the testing of the vaccine is difficult to administer because you can't give pregnant women like trial vaccines at risk of
weird kids' heads and shit, deformities.
Yeah, it's small.
It's fucking
like
sad,
shrunk.
It's called microcephaly.
That's what it's called. Yes.
Thanks, Doc.
Shrunk heads and brain damage, basically.
Yes.
But because of the state of the emergency, the World Health the WHO has pushed testing right ahead. It doesn't have to go through its preliminary phases of like talk. They're just like, no, we gotta get this shit out there.
Well, yeah, they're predicting like millions of people, right?
Really, eh? That's crazy.
The next year.
That's like, where did it come from? How does this shit? How does it just? How does the disease just start?
Apparently, the disease has been existent.
Who fucked a monkey?
Well, apparently it's been existent before, but hasn't been transmitted by the common mosquito. But now the common mosquito is transmitting it, so it's
there was one
wildly.
mosquito. There was a patient 0 that had a deformity, an immunity deformity. Probably picked it up, spread that shit. That's the only way. Really? Again, not a doctor.
Disclaimer.
I don't fucking...
Just stop.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, you're making big guesses.
Well, someone's got to, The UN ain't doing shit. Leave it to Bijj, man. He'll figure out the fucking Zika virus.
We're not going to get it if we go.
I don't think we will. I really am not worried.
No.
I don't think there should be a reason to be worried, really. We're so far away from Latin America that these type of viruses and stuff really don't affect Canada. United States, yeah, I'd be a little worried.
That's dumb to think like that.
Is it though?
Yes.
I don't know.
Why?
Because of the isolation.
Okay.
Do you
remember a few months ago?
Oh, here we go. What?
Well...
No, go.
What virus was going around the world?
Fuck, I don't know. What was it? H1N1?
Well, there was that.
SARS? AIDS?
Right. So you think because we're far away from the Latin Americas that
Ebola.
we're safe.
You're talking about Ebola.
I am talking about Ebola, but now you said SARS, which hit even closer to home. So why don't we talk about that?
People died?
Like 13. But
okay.
They said from China is where it came from.
We get a lot of fucking Chinese people coming here.
Oh my god.
That's what I mean.
No, it's not. You're saying we're safe because if we have the most people going to the Dominican, someone comes back from the Dominican.
Exactly. Okay, but it has to hit the Dominican. That's what I mean. And if people aren't going from Latin America to Dominican Republic, then it's not going to spread there.
It very well could.
It could. It might. It probably will.
You defeated your own
We're all
argument.
gonna die, man.
You
That's
defeated your own
Fuck
argument.
it. Throw in the towel. We're all dying.
Hey, but Ebola, they tried everything not to get it back into North America. And what? There was like 4 or 5 cases.
You're
and-
always going to get cases. And where did they go? The United States. Did Canada get one?
No.
Well,
It was just travelers. It was like doctors that went over
yeah,
there.
that's true. Yeah.
There were Canadian doctors there.
Yes. To be a doctor without borders, that's got to be a fucked up job. Dealing with that type of shit and
Those people want to do it.
Well, I know, and I'm glad they do but that's a tough job. That's all I'm saying. Like, you see some horrific stuff. Horrific.
So these are the countries that have active Zika transmission: Barbados, Bolivia, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, El Salvador, French Guiana, Guadalupe, Guatemala, Guyana, Haiti. Where's Haiti? Right next to Dominican.
That's true.
Honduras, Martinique, Mexico, Panama. So it's in Mexico.
Yeah.
You don't think it's going to come into...
Southern states.
Yeah, but that's people going up from Guatemala, isn't it? That's my guess. Like, you leave in Ecuador and Guatemala for Mexico? Yeah, there it is.
What are you saying?
I'm just saying some countries are more isolated than other countries.
Not with the way humans travel.
Well, I understand there's a globalization issue, and that's why the shit is spreading like it is.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, even though there is a global connection to everybody, there are still some countries that will not be affected because they are a little bit isolation.
What about this country way out here?
Who's that? Fucking Papua New Guinea?
I'm not even sure.
That might be the British... no, what is that? The British Virgin
There's
Islands?
one here next to Africa.
Yeah. I don't know what those are.
Those look like pretty isolated countries to me.
Well,
one of those ones is Martinique, I think.
Yeah, one of them has
It's
to be
French,
Martinique.
right?
Yeah, I think that one is
that one.
Martinique.
Yeah.
Okay, so just debunking your theory after theory here.
Well,
we just travel. We're too well traveled. Just like the bird flu, or
Well,
Everything's global.
You know, we live in a globalized world where everyone is so connected. You know, there's a million people who go through a fucking airport in a week.
Zika originally comes from Africa, right?
Oh,
I'm sure
does it?
people in the Western Hemisphere at first were like, well, it's never coming from Africa.
Yeah.
But now it's here.
Yeah, there's nothing you can
why
do.
we're
when these
always
things,
at risk for like a global
Pandemic.
pandemic.
Yeah, we're probably right on the edge every single day, like this close.
They say that
This close
there's supposed
to
to
the
be a
black
really
plague.
big one, and every time one comes up, they fear that's the one. They thought Ebola or H1N1 or the Zika, but they also like blow these up when a few cases pop up. You know what I mean? But it does take a big effort to eradicate them again.
Well, it takes
Just like making rules about blood donation or preventing travel or asking people who have traveled to those areas to be like isolated.
and it comes down to every international body coming together and figuring it out. You know?
Isn't that like-
streamlining?
Isn't that like every issue in the world, though?
Well, yeah, and some countries don't give a fuck, you know.
Well, there's the problem, right?
Well, they don't give a fuck. But when you got hungry kids dying, I don't give a fuck about some goddamn mosquito. I got bigger shit on my plate, you know. And that's the issue with the affluence of the northern hemisphere. You know, we have to worry about this shit because everything else is perfect. Everything else is running smoothly. But now, if we got these goddamn mosquitoes coming in, biting us, now we got an issue. For them, they're dealing with deforestation and no food and
Clean water.
poverty and a place to take a shit.
Again, it's not really the mosquitoes coming and biting
Well, no,
us.
I know it's the transmission of. But you know what I mean. Some countries have way more important stuff to deal with, and while this is important, you know, it's not important if your whole population dies because you don't have any food. Apparently, Venezuela right now going through crazy shit. They're going through like an economic crisis like no one else. Things are like inflated 140% down there.
The Greeks went through something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, their money is, you know, shit. And apparently they can't even get the basic essentials right now, like toilet paper, bottled water. Everything's so expensive and it's so limited because of the price.
That's also a problem with the world as well, where people in their own countries don't produce certain things. You know what I mean?
No, explain.
Do they produce like toilet paper in Venezuela?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So not self-sufficient, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Nobody is these days, yeah.
It's true.
But that's the free trade market world we live
Yes.
in, you know?
Exactly.
Why do I have to worry about TP, you know? Canada will make me some toilet paper, send it down to me. I'll send them some fucking bananas,
Exactly.
and we're good to go. The bananas cause you to shit, makes more toilet paper. It's a goddamn cycle.
Canadian dollar's finally back above 70 cents. Oh my god.
That's pretty good.
Oh, thankfully.
It really helps our travel.
That's getting strong.
Yes.
Yeah, that's you know, everybody's hurting. I don't know. Who is not hurting? I don't get like
There is industry in Canada that's not hurting because of it,
but I'm just saying, like, I feel like every country is poor. Like, is there a country doing well right now?
the United Kingdom, I don't know.
Nah, I don't even think they're doing that well. Because what do they make? They don't make shit.
It's very true. They're like,
You want to know the thing about England or the United Kingdom? They're just a financial. That's all they have. They're just banks.
Yes. They don't have
They just trade
any
and
resources
insurance.
that they export, basically,
Yeah.
almost.
Everything is brought in. Like, they don't have room.
Mm-hmm.
You got, like, I don't even know how many people live in the United Kingdom.
A
But
lot.
it's a small island.
Yeah.
And there's no room for agriculture. Like, you can't support. There's no way you can support your whole country on that size land with that many people, and the amount of industry needed that takes up land. So you have to bring shit in. So they just gave up on it, and they're like, "Well, we shall just become the banking financial sector of the world," and they did.
Good for them. They figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess so. That's capitalism.
Which doesn't really make sense
form.
because you have a country such as Japan, and they still have like agriculture.
Yeah.
And they're smaller surface
That's
area.
True. They are way smaller than the United Kingdom.
There is agriculture in the United Kingdom. It's just not.
But
It's not like a major
did
industry.
Japan accept building high rises earlier than the United Kingdom, and that's why they've been able to minimize
I don't know.
land use?
I don't think there are high rises in Japan. Most of the buildings are small, aren't they?
I thought they were skyscrapers. Like, I thought Tokyo was just straight skyscrapers.
Maybe in the biggest city
Maybe
they
in the
have.
biggest cities,
But if
yeah.
that's where everyone's living, that you maximize the height. I don't know. What the fuck does Tokyo look like?
Yeah, there's some tall buildings for
What does
sure.
any city
It's
look
gotta
like?
be.
I saw
It's gotta be.
an aerial shot of downtown, like New York, or like that whole downtown area.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild from above.
Yeah, New York's a beautiful city.
It's not even.
It has a nice silhouette, you know?
Well, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about. It's pretty wild to look at that area of New York and just see how.
Like Manhattan.
Yeah, you can't even. It just looks like buildings everywhere. There's
Yeah.
no land. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
Humans
yeah.
have completely just taken over
every
that area.
single space. And the beautiful thing is, but they've kept Central Park, and it kind of makes it, you know, quaint in a way that they left this perfect square of land just as green space. Central Park is cool, and it's huge. It's bigger than I always thought it would be.
Yes, agreed.
Like Central
It
Park
is larger than you think.
Yeah, it is. You know, it takes up that like a big chunk of land in the middle, and everything's built around it.
Well, there it is.
Yeah, that's a sweet shot. Oh God.
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah,
Complete bird's eye view.
it's perfect. You know.
Look at it from above.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
But the area with buildings
Yeah.
is just wild.
There isn't a piece of land that isn't used properly. They've done it well. New York's an interesting city. You know.
Oh, that makes me look dizzy
Yeah.
looking at it.
Yeah.
Some of them from like the ocean aspect is pretty crazy.
I just love the picture, like the skyline, the silhouette of it. You know, you look at a picture of New York and you always know it's it.
This one's like rounded.
Oh goddamn! New York, New York.
There's a place you have to visit, right?
Yeah, there's so much to do there. If you could live in any city, where would you live?
That's too difficult to think of instantly.
Is it?
I could think of a lot of places.
See, New York.
Wouldn't you want to live in?
I would love to live in New York.
Spend some time in a bunch of different ones.
Yeah, that is true. Top 3, go. See him.
I do love Chicago. I have to say.
I would have to visit a few more places. I really like Vancouver when I was there. I love spending time in Toronto. I want to say New York, but I've never been there. But it just seems like you'd want to live in one of those cities. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would need a city with like a heartbeat that just feels alive. That you're always
something to do.
You know, exactly. It's alive. I need a lively city.
Well, I would want something that would be a change from like here.
Yeah.
I would love to spend just even 2 years living in a big city, just to absorb it. Just to feel what it's all about.
It's pretty crazy because like big cities in different countries will have completely different vibes too, right? Like you said about like the capital cities in
each one's
different countries, like living in Paris or
wow.
And then even in those cities, you have different
areas,
cultures and identities.
Well, when we were walking around Toronto, all of a sudden you're in the Chinese district.
Yeah, Spadina.
And it's got a different vibe to it there as well, you know what I mean?
Goddamn.
I like that there's just people walking everywhere. It was the same way in Vancouver.
Yeah, I like that. I really do like the feel of a city that everyone's just on the go and, you know, you can feel the energy. It's something special. And I can see why people get really attached to their cities. You know, after you live in a place like that.
I can also see why some people cannot stand to live in a city like that.
I don't think I could live in Toronto. I don't think so.
Yeah. I think I would get
tired.
It's like,
it's very exciting to visit, but
depends what you are used to and what you want in that period of time in your life.
Yeah. If you don't mind spending, you know, $300,000 on a studio apartment, then
I'm still looking at these pictures in New York. They're breathtaking.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city.
You get a time, Google image.
It's a goddamn beautiful city.
New York.
It might be the most beautiful city. In the words of Trump, you know, it's like New York is the most fabulous
but what I'm
city
saying is,
of the world.
It's beautiful in a sense of like the architecture and everything like that. But it's also taking away from the Earth's beauty as well. Because those areas are so overrun by man-made structures.
Yeah.
If you think about the areas of the Earth that are like left untouched, like some of those areas in Iceland, or even like Niagara Falls, when you really look at that, can you imagine what that looked like before like any civilization was around?
Yeah, it's hard to think of. You know, you think about exactly. That's a great one.
Actually, did you hear that they're talking about like drying the falls up on the American side? So they're gonna like dam it so that there's no falls there because they have to construct or work on some bridges that are further upstream. So they're gonna like shut the falls down, which apparently they think is gonna be like an amazing tourist thing because people are gonna come to see like the falls dry, which will like never happen again, right? Probably.
Yeah. Is that going to fuck up our part of the falls?
No, the Canadian side is apparently going to keep running, but the American side, they want to...
Okay, I don't know how you do that.
Dry it up.
Good luck.
Divert it. I don't know.
There would be more water going over the Canadian side.
There would have to be. I would imagine.
That would be the only change.
That will be interesting for sure. God damn, all these beautiful cities. Just makes you want to leave. Just makes you want to get up and go. Do your own thing.
What are your top 3?
Shit, New York. Tokyo would be cool. I think Tokyo would just be crazy. I don't know why, but
You have to back them up.
I've heard really good things about Buenos Aires in Argentina. I've heard amazing things, and same with Montevideo in Uruguay.
You would never go live in those places.
Well, they've got apparently it's. I did not know that. That's how it works, eh?
You've never looked at an aerial shot of
No,
Niagara Falls?
well, maybe not in a couple of years. I've been there.
This is why the Canadian side
Niagara
is so much
Falls,
nicer.
everybody. Sorry. Oh yeah, that's a cool place, Niagara. I really dig it. But
You've been there?
I've been to Niagara. Yeah,
Did you go on the Maid
Made of the Mist.
I did go on the Maid of the Mist. Yep.
And you didn't know that's how the falls work?
I was a kid. I didn't really pay attention. I looked at the falls. I said, "Interesting. Let's go get a beer."
You were a kid.
No, I know.
You're not helping.
Let's go, Dad. Let's go get a fucking drink. I'm tired of this shit.
I feel I would really want to go.
Have you been?
No.
Niagara?
I thought you'd been.
Why would I have been there?
Oh, I don't know. I thought you had been there.
I wish.
Oh, it's a cool place.
It's
is
close.
It's a cool city.
It's close to Kitchener because I know
Yeah.
people have gone there from Bren's before.
It
Just haven't had the chance.
it's a tourist town.
It is, 100%.
It's really weird in that sense. It's almost like a Vegas.
I'm not saying
It
you
is.
would.
Everything
I'm
is-
not saying I would want to live there.
No. But to go see it, I don't go see it. But what I'm saying is, it's a weird town because it's like a tourist town, and everything is just tourist driven, like fun houses, haunted houses, bars, a strip of
Casinos.
bars. Yeah, casino. Is it Casino-rama?
There's cities like that. No, it's Fallsview.
Oh yeah.
Don't you know the commercials?
Fallsview Casino.
No, there's cities like that, like Atlantic City,
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah.
So they were also talking about over the whole All-Star break is how good Nashville is for like entertainment value.
Yeah.
Nashville is apparently like just a rockin'
Well, it's the
city.
music country capital of the world.
Yes.
If you're
Not even country
gonna break
music,
into
like
country,
rock
oh,
music.
exactly.
Yeah.
But if you're breaking into country, you go to Nashville,
True.
which is crazy because nobody thinks of Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, Elvis
Do you
is
remember
from
Elvis is
there.
apparently, I think you've been there, Austin, Texas. Mm-hmm. Apparently, that is a wild town as well. Mm-hmm. Apparently, there's just a street of bars, 6th Street, I think it's called. And
All those cities in Texas are big. Literally.
Everything's
Everything's big in Texas. But I haven't been to Austin. Houston.
Houston's the third biggest
Houston's
city in
fourth biggest city in North America.
Recently passed by Toronto.
Yes.
Yeah, 6th Street, and it's just, look at that, it's just all bars.
Did you know that? We were talking about this the other day. What are the largest cities in North America?
The largest?
What's number one?
Are you talking area?
No, population.
Population. North America.
Yes.
Los Angeles.
Wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh. New York?
Yes.
And then Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. But New York, Los Angeles, Houston,
Is up
one
there.
of them, yeah.
But
and Dallas?
no. They're like 9th or 10th.
I don't know. What are they?
Toronto's in there.
Oh, I guess North America. Yeah, Toronto.
It's actually,
Do you got a list?
yeah. Well, Mexico City apparently has the most, but we're not going to really count
Yeah, that
them.
makes sense.
But it goes New York, Los Angeles, Toronto,
Okay.
then Chicago, then Houston.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Houston's huge, apparently.
Yes.
Toronto has just been climbing on that list for
Yeah.
years and years.
It grows by that much, eh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's gonna have it's behind LA by quite a bit, no?
How many does LA have?
Yeah, LA is 3,900,000 and Toronto's 2.8 mil.
It's
So,
like a whole
A whole million people behind, basically.
lot.
Which is a lot.
That is a lot.
And New York is
But even to think-
8.5 million. 8.5.
8.5 million.
Yeah, so they are like 5 million ahead of LA.
Oh my god! And you think of like area density population.
Oh yeah, Los Angeles is way more spread out than New York City. But
Well,
New
exactly.
York City's population
like New
is-
York's got to be dense as fuck.
Look at these images.
Oh, I know. This
is why I'm
I
looking
know.
at them.
That's what I mean. It's
wild.
mind-boggling that you can get that many people fucking sardined onto an island.
But
like
then
that.
you think about European, like Paris's
Yeah.
population is just wild.
oh,
Like,
it's
Toronto's very much like New York a little bit too, in that it's
You know
very
what?
dense, right?
we might need this goddamn Zika virus, man. Wipe out a few of us. Rents-
Oh my
goddamn
God.
rents will drop. We'll have more food. You know, it'll mostly kill the old people anyway. So what the fuck does it really matter? You know, just get rid of them. We need a cold winter. And where's that, Long Island?
although I agree in some sense that the world's population has to get capped at some point. I don't know if we've reached the point
Well,
yet.
we're going up. We're going up to 9 million.
This is a throwback to the first podcast. We pulled up that graph.
Yeah.
I know it's just going exponentially greater, but
Yeah.
we're still years away from having a real issue.
I'd say 50 years.
But they've got to start thinking
by
about
50
that.
by
We've looked this up.
2050, I think there will be 19 million.
No. 19 million, really?
19 billion, sorry.
You're wrong. It was projected to be 10.
By
Billion.
50?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In 30 years.
I apologize.
But still, 2 billion people in growth in 30 years.
2 Chinas.
I guess that's a way to think of it.
2 more Chinas, or a China and an India.
But where do those people go? There's already like shortages of food and stuff.
and water.
I don't think there's shortages of food, but there's a definite mismanagement of food
Yes.
and resources.
But
we
that's-
can do this way better.
That's part of it.
I know.
Some of the most of the population growth is like happening in places where there's not very many resources as well, which is the scary part.
But is it happening in developing countries?
Well, there's population growth in
Well,
developing
yeah.
countries, yes.
That's what I mean. I watched this documentary last week, and they said at the current rate in which we grow food, we can sustain 9 billion people. But if we change the way we eat, and if we change the way we managed our resources and food production, we could technically sustain 19 billion people.
John Oliver talked about this. It was like food waste. Over like half of the world's like food production is lost to food waste.
Yeah.
Just throwing it away.
Yeah. And we're all guilty.
Grocery stores.
Nobody fucking thinks about it. Nobody blinks when they throw a fucking apple with a little prick of, brown on it. Mm-hmm. People don't care. And I think there's a cool movement.
It's spoiled at that point.
Is it though? Half of it. Some poor kid in India would eat
That's
that
part
shit.
of it though. Milk expiring or bread molding. Mm-hmm. We made that for no reason almost.
Oh, I understand.
Think of when you walk into a grocery store and you see
the energy we used is wasted. If we think of it in just terms of energy, we've just wasted, like 1,000 joules of energy on that bread that's going to waste.
No, you're physically wasting the bread as well.
Yeah.
That costs money to make
Yeah.
and didn't go to anyone. Mm-hmm. And the actual product perishes.
Yeah.
You're throwing it away.
Mm-hmm. And it happens all the time. And everybody does it. And it's going to take a cultural shift. People are going to have to realize, like, food is not abundant. My dad is really weird because he doesn't throw away anything. But he comes from a place where he didn't have food. And so he would never throw shit out.
Your dad's not weird. There's people...
No, I'm not saying he's weird. I'm just saying he doesn't have this mentality. Like, my dad brings fucking, like, a box of cookies home from meetings.
I think about that all the time, too. Maybe... I think about not wasting food all the time. I try my best not to.
And it's going to take, individual efforts are great. I'm not saying they aren't. But it is going to have to take a global shift to realize, like, we're wasting a lot of fucking product here. And there's a lot of hungry people. Mm-hmm. But, keep doing the individual stuff. Buying less is important, I think. I don't think you have to buy the amount of food people do,
Mm-hmm. Or make the amount of food you do.
Yeah. And if you're going to make that much, at least, have the leftovers the next day.
A problem is everyone wants bigger portions. Mm-hmm. You ever hear someone at a restaurant, they get their meal, and they're like, oh, this doesn't even look like a lot of food.
Yeah.
And then you like...
It's fucking huge.
You, like, stuff yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, with like
all this
4,000
food
calories
that you don't need.
Yeah.
And you feel like shit the rest of the day.
Yeah. Even if you think...
Or if you get a smaller portion, you're, like, upset for what you paid for.
I thought there'd be more.
But when you finish it, it's like, that was satisfying.
Even if you think of plate sizes in general, they've gone up.
I know.
You look at those, like, odd and end pieces that you got from your parents, these small little juice cups and, like, this small little dinner plate. Mm-hmm. That's fucking what they eat, man. That's how much food a human would eat back then. Plates have gotten way bigger over the years. Mm-hmm. Just people need these troughs to fucking take to the buffet table. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's not, like, you think of buffets in general. You ever go to a buffet? Yeah, you've been. Vegas. How much food gets wasted at a buffet?
Too much.
I don't even want to think about it.
That's gotta be the worst. Like, the worst.
Half? I don't know.
Like, it's unbelievable.
Way too much.
Yeah.
I think about... I'll, like, use an example. The coffee shop at work. You walk in there late at night, and they're just throwing away everything from the rest of the day. Like, from that day. I know the product at that point is, like, not as good as it is when it's first fresh. Mm-hmm. But they're just throwing it away. You could bring that to the homeless.
Oh, I know. You could give it to anybody. There's so much food that you could just...
You could give it away.
Yeah.
But they throw it away. And it's not... I'm not just saying them.
No, that is definitely a trend.
Grocery stores...
Everywhere.
Just throw it away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gross world, There's a lot of hungry people out there. And I guess a lot of things have to change for us to realize we gotta fucking feed these people.
Mm-hmm. Remember counting waste at McDonald's?
Yeah. How much stuff you just throw away?
It wasn't actually that much, in my opinion.
I used to give homeless people, like, food all the time. I don't give a fuck. Like, some guy see some poor bastard outside, I'd be like, hey, these literally just expired. Here's a fucking bag of fries. Like, what the fuck do I care? I marked them. That's waste. Mm-hmm. Here you go, dude. They're a little cold. Sorry. But it's some starchy protein to get you through the night.
Like, counting it at the end of the night on the night shift, mm-hmm. and you actually see what it's worth on, like, that waste sheet.
Yeah, it's fucking worth nothing.
It's nothing.
Goddamn 8 cents. 8 cents for a burger patty, people. Just so you fucking know. It costs them 8 cents. 25 cents for a quarter pounder.
23 cents.
23 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's nothing.
Wow.
An egg, 10 cents. I don't fucking know. But, like, really, at the end of the day, you can feed people. We can feed everybody. Food should just be a right at this point, We should just figure it out. Get to the point where it's like, you just show them your, like, life ID. Here's your food. Why are we even paying for this shit anymore?
Why are we paying for food?
Yeah.
There's lots of reasons.
Because we live in a capitalist world. People in the feudal system didn't have to pay for food, man. They just worked. And they got free food.
That'll never work again.
I don't know.
Speaking of McDonald's,
Speaking of delicious foods.
Well, it's the same in every restaurant. You think you're eating healthy,
Do you?
These, if you think you're eating healthy,
okay, yeah.
you order like a salad. A lot of times that would have more calories than a burger.
Really? Because of the dressing and stuff they use?
Yeah. Or, so the example they're using now is the Caesar salad has more calories than a double Big Mac. And more grams of fat. And more sodium.
I don't know, really?
And less protein.
Dressing, deep fried chicken.
Yes.
Oh,
all these things.
Yeah, that chicken. Yeah, you're not gonna have a fucking plain salad.
That was the same with the Caesar before. The burgers. Do you remember Super Size Me?
Yeah.
The movie. He ate nothing but McDonald's for 30 days.
Yeah.
Morning.
I called that my full-time job.
Lunch.
But go ahead.
Yeah. Lunch, or breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all McDonald's. 30 days. Mm-hmm. He like broke down as a person pretty much at the end of it. But they interviewed this one guy who only ate Big Macs for like 30 years. And he was like a raw, like skinny guy. Mm-hmm.
But
because the actual sandwiches, like a burger isn't all that bad for you. It's the fries and the pop.
Oh, definitely.
The deep fried and the sugar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If anything, the bun, probably not good for you. And the cheese. The cheese might, it's processed.
Mm-hmm. It is processed.
But if you just had meat, sauce, onion, and pickle and lettuce, that ain't gonna kill you. I really don't think so. You could eat that every day.
This guy did.
Yeah.
Not saying he was the healthiest individual, and he was saying that as well, but he wasn't fat.
But some people are also just genetically engineered to eat shit. No. I got friends who can eat anything they want, and they don't gain any weight.
Yeah, and eventually they will start.
Well, yeah. But for right now, they're living it. Eating those fucking Big Macs.
That's the wrong way. Their cholesterol is probably like through the roof.
Yeah. Cholesterol is
It's true.
It's the hidden killer.
Size does not necessarily determine health.
That is true. That is true.
That is true.
Because some people, it's not even, their fault that they're heavy set.
There are many heavy set people that are healthier than people that look
like, look at me, man.
Skinny.
Fuck, I'm probably a walking death machine. Fucking all the cigarettes I smoke. But you wouldn't know it. Could be dead. I could be goddamn dead. I could be a fucking ghost, boys. Doing this podcast with you, not knowing if I'm going left or right.
What are you saying?
I don't know.
Tangent.
You see me start walking through walls, I'm not really me.
You're the Kool-Aid man.
Fuck yeah. The fucking Kool-Aid dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
no. Did you watch the Iowa Caucus there the other night?
No, I was working.
Oh, we're Canadian and I'm still fucking watching it. I don't know why. It doesn't really concern me, but some big surprises. Trump lost, which was
Is that really a surprise?
Yeah.
I think it's everyone's hope.
I think it's just a realization that he's totally full of shit. You know what I'm tired of? I'm just tired of people. I think it's like the politics in general. You listen to these fucking interviews with people from Middle America, and they're like, "Oh, and who are you voting for?" And they're like, "I'm voting for Trump. I really like his ideas. I think he's gonna make America great again, and I just think he's the right guy for the job." And they're like, "Oh, so what policies do you like on his?" And they're like, "Well, I really haven't looked deeply into his policies per se, but he's a great guy, and he's gonna make America great again." And it's just like, nobody fucking knows anything that a politician is actually gonna do, but they love him. They fucking know he's gonna make America great again, but yet you can't tell me a single thing he's actually gonna do. And with Trump, it's interesting because I have listened to every single Trump interview, And besides, like, building a wall, he has no fucking ideas. Like, oh, what are you going to do about the economy? Oh, the economy! Oh, well, you know me. I'm like, I know the economy, you know. I'll just get some people, you know, called China. Fucking, you'll do it, you know. It's like, oh, okay. Well, that's not really a policy plan. You're just kind of saying you're going to do shit. I'm just tired of hearing that, you know. That
exists across all levels of politics.
Oh, it does. You're right. It's just, I'm just, you know, I'm just tired of people saying, and there's this show that comes with politics. It's a character show. It's like, who do you like more? It's fucking American Idol, you know? You fucking like Ruben Studdard or Clay Aiken? God damn it. Are you a Clay boy or are you fucking Ruben Sandwich? I don't know. Who do you like? But people really don't know anything about the politics behind the person. They're like, oh, I don't like Ted Cruz. Well, why? I don't know. Like, there's just this weird mentality when it comes to politics. So
people form their opinions, you know, and they vote accordingly.
When I was a kid, I was so pro George Bush. In 2000, I was like, fuck yeah, George is the shit. And I hated Al Gore. And this just had to do with me not knowing anything about fucking politics, because I was a 12-year-old, 14-year-old, which scares me because that tells me that like half the population of the United States has the mentality of a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah.
But like all I was thinking about was just, you know, I liked George Bush as a caricature, and I did not like Al Gore as a caricature. But it's the fucking truth. Like, yeah, you're fucking right, man. Like, they're just characters. Hillary Clinton is a fucking character. And she's a creepy character. She's a goddamn robot. Bernie Sanders, he's a crazy old man. That's his character. Fucking Trump is just doing the old classic Trump character, which we've all come to love. Ted Cruz is just being the crazy right-wing evangel. I mean, but really, like, nobody's actually talking about fucking public policy or shit. It's a goddamn show. And it's so weird. You know, we love it. We fucking love it.
Those events are the ones that are broadcast on TV. That's how they get their ratings.
I know. But that's the whole political process. Because for the other 4 years, nobody gives a shit about what's going on.
That's not true.
Well, to that degree. Nobody puts on these fucking character faces while they're in, you know, the House of Representatives or in Canada in Parliament.
I don't know that they're character faces. I think that's who those people actually are.
I really don't. You really think that's Trump? You think Trump goes home and does that?
Yes.
Oh God. And then that makes me just think of like, what's Kanye West doing at home? Is Kanye just being Kanye at home?
I think those people are who they're being themselves. They're not. They're not in character.
There is a character. I totally believe there's a character.
Do you change who you are?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
You change who you are.
For this? Fuck yeah.
For what?
I'll be the first to admit it. I don't give a shit. I'm putting out I am presenting myself to the world.
You should always be doing that.
Well, you should. Except when you're at home fucking jacking off by yourself.
Oh, God.
Well, I'm just saying, like, everybody puts on a show. Their show is just broadcasted on a higher, more populous level than anybody else's.
You're thinking, like, if you were putting on a show, that's who you are at all times.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think everybody puts on a show every once in a while, and that's not a bad thing. But I'm just saying, these guys are under a law. They're going for the president of the United States of America. They are running for the ship right now.
But you only represented 4 of the people running. Like, you only talk about 4.
Oh, I could talk about, you know, I could talk about it. How about, what's his name? Ben Carson. The guy was talking about how he attacked his mom with a hammer.
Okay,
and
so what's his character?
He's a crazy dude who won't put up with shit. I don't know, but he was like, people said he didn't they're like, oh, he made that up, and he's like, no, I didn't. I did stab him. I did stab him. I did hit my mom. I did attack my mom. And they're like, what the fuck? So I think everybody does to a degree, you know.
Yeah, but character, even if you describe the actual definition of character,
Yeah.
is like what you're talking about. That's who they are. That's how they come off.
I'm talking more about in a metaphysical sense or metaphorical sense, that they are playing these characters. It's not their character. Their character is influenced by the character, but they are playing the character. They're not playing their character.
You're always playing your character.
Yeah. But when that camera's on, something changes. You think the chick's on fucking...
But that's
You
them.
think the chick's on The Bachelor are that fucking crazy?
Yes.
In real life? I
Yes.
don't know. I don't
Yes.
know. That's bullshit, man.
That's how they
That's
pick
a
them.
fucking character.
They
That's
interview
a
those
character. They're not that crazy. They're not walking around their fucking office. That chick is such a bitch.
Yes, they are.
I don't know,
That's
man.
women in general,
I
man.
don't
I can
know.
tell you that right now.
I don't know. I think
Everyone,
when the
You are who-
when the lights
when you-
are on,
it's just more emphasized
Yeah.
when the camera's on. Those people, that's who you are. That's,
I guess. Agree to disagree. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know where to.
No, I don't necessarily disagree with you.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
There has to be a little bit of some of that in them.
yes. That's who they
Yeah,
represent. That's how they present themselves.
it's
That's
a-
how you present yourself.
it's a hyperbolic representation of themselves.
The media infatuates that. The camera.
Yeah, but they buy
Emphasize.
it. They don't have to play in that card, and they do. The media might play that card, but they run with it, and that's the thing. They know what they're doing. Trump is a smart dude. I'm not saying he's not. He fucking knows exactly what he's doing with this campaign.
He's always been like that. It's not just the campaign.
No, I know,
though.
but that's how
That's him.
But it's him.
That's his character.
It's him playing this game. He's trying to stay relevant.
Unless you're an actual sociopath, I think who you present or how you present yourself is always how you present yourself. Whether you're happy, sad, angry, that's you still. Those are your actions, your mannerisms.
Yeah.
You can't just change characters almost. That you are who you are.
What about Bill Cosby?
What about him?
He plays this fucking wholesome character that he's going out raping chicks.
What about John Gomeshi?
Allegedly.
What about John Gomeshi?
Same shit. So maybe they're psychopaths. I don't fucking know.
They are.
Oh yeah, I watched this documentary today. Well, it was this guy made up on YouTube, but still, it was about why Dave Chappelle quit. Mm-hmm. And basically,
Is it true?
I don't know, but it's basically these high-powered black people, African Americans, basically pushed him out. And I'm talking like Oprah Winfrey, Al Sharpton, Bill Cosby.
Oh my god.
And basically they're like,
So
you're
don't-
misrepresenting the black community. We don't like it. We want you to stop. And the show kept getting better and better. And so apparently they were just pretty adamant
This is a
about...
fake documentary.
Well, yeah, it could be bullshit. But why did he quit? And now that I think about it, Bill Cosby, if he allegedly did this stuff, he could have allegedly did that stuff. And he's always talking about how all these young black comedians, are doing this bad shit to, discredit the black community in any way. So why would he? Fuck. Oprah Winfrey, she's powerful. I don't know though. I don't know. Why did he fuck off and go to South Africa? Why? And then he says I've heard all these interviews where he's like, yeah, the media will say what they want to say. They'll say I went crazy. They said I did this, but that's I don't know. Maybe they did. It was crazy. All this shit, all these people were following him and stuff.
I don't believe any of that for a second.
Oh, maybe. I don't know though. I mean, it's a fucking YouTube documentary, so take it with a grain of salt, obviously. Because you know, YouTube's got like the highest quality documentaries on the internet. Reptilians, Bill Cosby, Black Illuminati.
You might be the only person that watches these videos.
Oh no, this one had a lot of views. Look at that one. Dave Chappelle talks about the Illuminati. 912,000.
How many times have you watched it?
Quite a few. I don't want to believe. I don't want to like.
You sound like you want to believe that.
I'm always just intrigued.
Are you a conspiracy fan? Are you a fan of the conspiracies?
I'm a fan of a good one.
That was a really bad one.
No,
the one
if you actually watch it, I read the whole thing, and it does make sense. But
it doesn't.
Well, you'd have to fucking read it. For me, a good conspiracy has to. All the gaps have to be filled. Because I think of it, objectively.
That's what makes it a conspiracy theory, is that not all the gaps are filled. And no, the conspiracy theory is the gap filler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when you think of it that way. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I never thought of it that way. But I thought of I'm looking at flaws in the actual conspiracy itself when they're not thinking of other elements that could be involved. But I do love a good conspiracy. Like, what was the first conspiracy? You know?
I don't know.
No.
JFK?
It was the state that killed Jesus, man.
There.
The government was trying to get rid of Jesus, man. I don't know. What was the first conspiracy?
I don't know. What do you define as a conspiracy?
I'm sure there are many.
I guess Julius Caesar would be the first conspiracy because they conspired to kill him. So that's
not a conspiracy theory, though.
That's what we're talking
about.
Oh,
I guess you're right. Well, it's a proven conspiracy theory. Julius Caesar was an inside job.
Spoilers.
Yeah. But I think they're fun.
I agree. It gives you like another point of view almost.
They're fun to think of.
But
again, you have to look at them very, very loosely.
Like everything.
And it comes down to like what they're talking about, and some conspiracies are way more believable than others. And there's some shit fucking, the stuff I've read that has like been legitimately proven. Like, you think of like stuff the CIA did in the 1970s and the 1980s. Then you hear other stuff the CIA did, but which is a conspiracy. It's like, well, how it's tough to believe that,
It's 50-50 street.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You hear what they have done, people conspire what they could have done.
Oh, yeah. I understand. Yeah. But you think of...
You can't just believe because they did one thing that they did another, because that's similar.
That's true.
Yeah. But it does provide
But it does make you question.
The ground
it makes you question every one of their decisions up until this point. They're willing to do that, and
it's the same thing with anyone or anything that's ever not told the truth about something. Like, someone lies to you, then you're like, maybe they were lying about this before, or maybe they... It's honesty, right? Those are the core values at play.
The social contract. That is true.
Everything in life is based on ethics and morals.
Ethics. You're right. No, because everyone just knows you can't go around killing somebody. We have these codes set into place, and they're just we follow them, and it's a respect thing. It comes down to like honesty and respect and kindness to a certain degree, I guess you would say. The kindness that I won't fucking stab you in the throat,
Why does it always come down to murder?
Well, I'm just saying, that's the difference between us and the animals. The animals will kill each other. You don't think a bear will kill another bear? Because he will.
Mm-hmm.
But will...
I don't know, man.
Do you know what I read the other day?
Just wait a second.
What?
Circumstances define all of that. Like,
I guess
it's not like a bear goes out and just murders things for no reason.
Yeah, I guess so. But you think of like dominance, like where no one's gonna start killing some dude on the dance floor because of dominance. Well, maybe he might, but
People do that.
well, I know, but it's not like everybody's doing it.
No.
Compared to
You're
how many
right.
bears will actually kill other bears.
I don't know that happens as often as you think it does.
I think it does. I think these bears are going around killing each other. I don't know. I read the other day, though, that they did these studies and they found... I can't remember what kind of animal it was. But these animals sense empathy. So they took one animal...
Okay.
And they triggered fears. Scared it for a couple minutes, just, got it off its rocker. Then they put it back in the cage with the other animal. Same animal. That animal sensed the disruption of, like the nervousness of the other animal, and it went over and it started relaxing it.
You must never be around like dogs.
No.
all the time,
But here's
yes.
the thing. The thing that they found, though, is these two animals have to know each other in order for that empathy to hit. Because if you took two random animals of the same breed, but they weren't, accustomed to each other, this empathy thing doesn't happen.
I think that's the same with people.
Yeah, but it's just interesting because we don't think of animals as having that subconscious empathetic feeling.
I think you don't think of that.
Well, I don't think society does in general. I think that's why people put humans above animals, because we have
Some people.
we have this ability to think and stuff.
Some people do. Those people don't.
Well, I think that I think the fucking trees have an energy.
Yes.
Everything has a vibrational energy.
Okay.
And it's receptive.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know how it senses. That's the thing. They don't know how it senses.
What, a tree?
No. The animal. How it senses the
Distress.
The distress.
Well,
of
how
the
do
other
you
animal.
sense distress in another person?
Look, I guess. It's
Okay.
signals.
Okay.
Yeah,
Body language?
The
exact same thing.
They're trying to figure
Body
out.
language?
Yeah. Body language, yeah.
Emotions?
Mm-hmm. It's just a super interesting
Communication?
idea. Yeah. Wow.
It's the same thing. We are animals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We communicate in the same way. How does a dog sense fear in a person?
Yeah, they can feel those vibes.
Dogs can sense happiness, anger
Yeah.
in other people.
100%.
Yeah. There are these vibrational frequencies that we just do not understand, and that every living thing is connected to in some way, and it's a crazy world we live in. The cosmos, the vastness of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck. Well, we're getting down to the end of this show. What do you got? So Super Bowl this weekend, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Who are you taking?
Panthers.
Taylor, who are you taking?
You asked me last week,
Yeah.
and I still didn't know, but it's gonna be a close one.
I think it's gonna be a good one. I think I read
As Cam Newton said, and I think he's right about this. If both teams play their best,
the Panthers
win.
Oh, if both teams play their best, it'll be a good game. I think. Some I read they are going aggressive. They said this year with drones being at the game, which is something you'd never think of up until 2016. But they said they're going to take out any drone that's flying over the stadium.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Because of either
No fly zone.
Yeah, it's like a no-fly zone. So either like A, security reasons, or B, people fucking streaming the game live from their drone.
I think that's going to become a very more common thing.
Yeah, we don't think of it, but the drones are coming. They're like every day they're being used more and more. Super Bowl though, it'll be interesting. And this is like an event. Like this is a big one, you know. Like
50
in North America.
Yeah, this is 50, eh? Holy shit! Football has been around. What's the Grey Cup? Grey Cup in Canada, it's 102?
Something like that.
I think so. I think it's 102 right now.
If anything, the Super Bowl has been around the least amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is fucked up. But I don't think the NFL as a league itself isn't that old.
No.
I think it's only the 60s.
Yeah, well, they have
compared to like Major League Baseball, and NHL, which
the NFL and the AFL have been around for a longer, but the merge and of them two is a different thing. The NFL as you know it.
Oh, so I guess there was an NFL. Oh, because
there's a national.
There was like an AFL, which was like American Football League.
Yeah, well, that's the AFL. They still have like.
And the first time those
the
two,
AFC.
The first time those two.
So leagues, the AFC is the American. That's the old one, and the NFC is the old.
I don't think it's split that.
No? Well, yeah.
Anyway, the first time those two football leagues faced off against each other was in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. So it was the actual
50 years ago, those two leagues.
So that's why
they didn't
still
quite merge at that point.
So that's why they still have like
conferences.
There's that's why it still matters, I guess you say, like, because there is still like this pride in.
They're definitely not split like geographically.
No, you're right. Fuck.
The NHL and the WHL.
Yeah, that's how Gretzky got into the league.
Yes, but just because he was always planning to go to the NHL.
Yeah, but then the Oilers got bumped into the NHL.
Right.
Yeah.
He actually signed with the Indianapolis Racers of the AHL.
Oh, I see.
Or WHL.
Mm-hmm. We'd like to thank you for listening to episode 5. Wow.
We're just hammering these.
We're doing it, man.
Full blast.
Full blast podcast. And thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next week.